Thanks Tim and Moby for that video. So now we're going to review how to infer the main idea of a chunk of text. We've done this several times, so this is just a review. So remember in the past that the first thing we do when we want to figure out the main idea is we first identify the topic of the text. Number two, we underline the important ideas and highlight repeated words. So these are the things that are the most important in that section. And then third, once we have our important ideas and the repeated words, we ask ourselves, what does the author want me to learn from these ideas and words? What are the ideas and words teaching me about this topic? Okay, so let's practice this. We'll figure out the main idea of the first section together. So first, I want to make sure that I refresh my memory and remind myself, what was this first section about? It says, in 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th president. At that time, the U.S. had 33 states. Americans disagreed on many issues, but the biggest was slavery. In most northern states, slavery had already been abolished. But in the South, wealthy landowners still relied on black slaves to work on their plantations or large farms. Southern states feared that Lincoln would try to abolish slavery in the South. After Lincoln was elected, 11 Southern states seceded or broke away from the U.S., called the Union. These 11 states formed a new country, the Confederate States of America, the Confederacy. Okay, so remember step one is to identify the topic. So what is the topic of this text? Baseball? Dinosaurs? No, the topic is the Civil War. Okay, so I figured out the topic. Check. Step two, underline the important ideas and highlight repeated words. Okay, so let me go back. You're going to help me with this. All right, what are the important ideas? Well, it's really important that we learn that Abraham Lincoln, he was elected president, right? Then we learned that Americans, they disagreed. We know that this is what caused the Civil War. They disagreed on slavery. Oopsies. They disagreed on slavery. Okay. What else was important? We learned that most of the North had already abolished it. And we learned that the South, they still relied on black slaves. Okay. So far I already have these important ideas. What are two important ideas? Two important ideas that you think I should underline from this paragraph here. What do you think? Okay, let's see if we got the same important ideas. Another important idea is that the South feared Lincoln would abolish slavery. And then that is the cause of this huge effect that the South seceded. Okay, that's a huge deal. So, step one, we identified the topic. Step two, we identified the important ideas. Now we have to figure out, what are the repeated words? All right, so I'm going to figure out some and then see if we have the same ones. So I have slavery. Was it a repeated idea? North, right? Like the north was a repeated idea, repeated word. What else should I highlight as important repeated words? Another one that hopefully you noticed was South or Southern. And I keep seeing this idea of abolish, right? That they're angry that one side wants to abolish slavery. And so that's what led to the Civil War. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. We've done step one, we figured out the topic. We figured out the important ideas and repeated words. Now we're going to ask ourselves, what do they have in common? So here are my important ideas. I typed them up. I'm so fast, I know. You didn't even notice. And here are my repeated words. What are these ideas and these words teaching us about the Civil War? Take a moment. See if you can figure it out. Okay. Let's see if you came up with the same main idea as I thought. I'm seeing that it's obviously talking about, I can see this a lot, right? That's how I know it's north, south. That was a repeated word. So the North and the South, they disagreed on slavery. And this resulted in a huge action, the South seceding. So I think that's what this is mostly about. The North and the South, they disagreed on slavery, which caused, I'm going to move myself, which caused the South to secede. Did you get that right? Hopefully you did. Okay, because the next step, we're going to figure out the important details.